Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're taking a journey into the most familiar and yet the most mysterious universe you will ever know, your own body. Using Bill Bryson's incredible guide as our map, we're going to explore the astonishing, paradoxical, and just downright weird reality of what it means to be you. Okay, let's dive right in. So, let's kick things off with a pretty simple question. What are you actually worth? You might think there's a straightforward chemical answer to that, but, well, when it comes to the body, nothing is ever that simple.
On the one hand, if you wanted to build a person from scratch, and the Royal Society of Chemistry actually calculated this using Benedict Cumberbatch as a model, it would cost you just over $150,000. But on the other hand, if you just look at the value of your basic chemical elements, a PBS analysis put that number at a measly $168. So which is it? That huge gap is the perfect illustration of the paradox we're going to be exploring.
And that paradox really begins with the sheer, mind-boggling scale of what it takes to be you. It takes 7 octillion atoms to make you. That's a 7 followed by 27 zeros. Now, think about this. These are just mindless particles, not a single thought in the whole bunch. And yet, for the entire length of your existence, they have this unexplained, urgent desire to be you. They all work together constantly to build and maintain every single part of your being.
Or what about your genetic blueprint? If you took all the DNA from all your cells and just unspooled it, creating one single thread, that thread would stretch for 10 billion miles. That's far enough to fly right past Pluto. I mean, think about that. There is literally enough of you to leave the solar system.
It's why Bill Bryson says it so perfectly. You are in the most literal sense cosmic. You are a walking, talking piece of the universe, assembled on a scale that's almost too huge to even wrap your head around. But the story gets even weirder, because you aren't just you. You're more like a planet, an entire ecosystem, just teeming with unseen life. So let's meet these little companions of yours. Right now, as you're sitting there, you're carrying around about 3 pounds of microbes. And to put that in perspective for you, that's roughly the same weight as your brain. Yeah, you have a second brain's worth of bacteria, fungi, and viruses just living on you and inside you. And this is not just some blob of germs either. It is an incredibly diverse neighborhood. I mean, check this out. You're hosting about 900 different species of microbes in your nostrils alone, over 1,000 on your gums, and, get this, up to 36,000 species could be living in your gut. But they aren't just hitching a ride. Seriously, we are here at their pleasure. They digest our food, they produce vital vitamins, they train our immune systems. Without them, we'd be dead in a day. The reality is, we're a team. This whole symbiotic world also shows just how connected we all are. There was this famous experiment where they put some harmless, invisible fluorescent dye on a volunteer's nose. They let him go mingle at a party for a bit, and then they turn on a UV light. The dye was everywhere, on every single person, every glass, every doorknob. It's an amazing illustration that the easiest way to spread germs isn't some big dramatic sneeze, it's just a simple touch. And this leads to a pretty sobering admission from the surgeon Atul Gawande. He says the biggest challenge in stopping infections isn't some fancy high-tech solution. It's getting clinicians, people like him, to do the one simple thing that consistently works: wash their hands. Okay, let's move on to the 3-pound organ running this whole show, the one that constructs your entire reality from scratch. But what if I told you that it's also a master of deception? We can start with the most basic, fundamental question of all, one that science still doesn't really have an answer for. What exactly is a thought? I mean, really think about it. You can't hold a thought in your hand. You can't put it on a slide and examine it under a microscope. It's not physical in any sense we can really grasp. And yet, thinking is our most vital, most miraculous talent. We don't really know what it is. Part of that miracle is the brain's incredible ability to just manufacture your reality. For instance, think about soap lather. It's always white, right? Doesn't matter if the bar of soap is blue or green or red. That's because the foam itself reflects light in a certain way. Your perception is what's changing, not the soap.
It's a powerful reminder that light waves don't have color, air vibrations don't have sound. All the richness of life is being created inside your head. And while we're on the topic of the brain, let's bust one of the most stubborn myths out there. You've heard it a million times, I'm sure, that we only use 10% of our brains. Well, it's just not true. We use all of it. Now, as Bill Bryson humorously points out, you may not always use it terribly sensibly, but you absolutely use all of it, in one way or another, whether you're doing calculus or just, sleeping. Okay, now let's zoom all the way out and look at how this incredible machine got built in the first place. You are the end product of 3 billion years of evolutionary accidents and tiny tweaks, which has created something glorious, but also deeply flawed. Take our ability to speak, for example. It's possible because our larynx, our voice box, sits lower in our throat than in other primates. A huge advantage, right? But here's the trade-off. It means we send air and food down the exact same pipe. This makes us uniquely and kind of terrifyingly susceptible to choking on our food. It's a design flaw that just happens to come with a glorious benefit.
Our bodies are also masters of adaptation. There's a fancy term for it, phenotypic plasticity, but you already know exactly what it is. It's why your skin tans in the sun to protect itself. It's why you blush when you're embarrassed. It's just your body responding and changing to the world around it in real time.
And listen to this brilliant quote from Nina Jablonski, which shows how one of those adaptations might have been the key to everything. She says that losing our body hair and learning how to sweat let us cool down more efficiently. And that, in turn, allowed our most heat-sensitive organ, the brain, to get much, much bigger. So basically, plain old sweat helped make us brainy. How crazy is that?
Which leaves us with one last perplexing puzzle. For all of our smarts, for all of that evolution, our brains have actually shrunk over the last 10,000 years by about the volume of a tennis ball. So why? Did they just get more efficient? Have we outsourced some of our thinking to society? The truth is, no one knows for sure.
So, what's the big takeaway from all this? It's that you, right now, are inhabiting the universe of profound mystery. You are made of cosmic dust. You are a walking ecosystem. Your brain is literally building your world from the inside out. And you are its sole and most fortunate occupant.